Okay, so I welcome you all to our cholesterol session. As you can see, the name of this session, I'm quite younger than many of you. I am young enough to be your daughter. So I was just like, what am I going to name this session today? And I was just thinking about the session and I was like, maybe I shouldn't be so formal about the name. Maybe I should just go with something more, you know, age like. So I was just thinking, I would probably tell you that cholesterol and fats deserve an apology from the whole world for how we have demonized and villainized it. And then you'd be like, I beg your pardon. So that's our topic for today, cholesterol and fats. Okay. We are going to break things down. We are going to, you know, let's know the truth, okay, about certain things. And honestly, I want to say that helping you doing all these sessions now for about close to 2 years that I've been doing these live sessions and just, educating you and all that, it has helped me a lot, even down to what I want to do in my residency. You know, it has helped me even know, okay, the kind of people, the kind of doctor that I want to be, not just a general practitioner now. Yes, my main goal is to become a surgeon, but then I would like to see more of hypertensive and diabetic patients when I finally get my degree. That's what I want to focus on. So I was just thinking about it. It's just such a grace to be able to do what I do early on before I eventually get my license to practice and I'll become a doctor. But helping you, honestly, it has really opened my eyes even to the mistakes of conventional medicine as well. I know now that when I finally get there and I begin to see patients, I am not just going to throw medications in their face. So I think I am blessed to be on this journey, and I'm very happy to have all of you on this journey, you know, with me. All right. So just as a security note, I always want to say this at the beginning of my sessions. I would never call you to give you a code to my Zoom sessions. I would never call you to tell you about any of my sessions. Okay. I simply need to put it on the WhatsApp group and you would see it. If you are active, you would definitely see it. Or I send you an email about it. Okay. And that's it. I won't even send you a text message. You would only get text messages from me at the beginning of the first meeting, which is our webinar. And after that, only when there is a serious issue, that's the only time I would, send you a text message. Aside that, I wouldn't call you. I wouldn't send you any text. Okay. Because as I'm building an audience, some people get into my list and then they start to use my name to hack into other people's WhatsApp accounts. Okay. And I don't want that for you. So please turn on your two-step verification and just know that I wouldn't call you, okay, to inform you about any of my sessions. All right. The only time I'll call you is if I just want to check up on you, just to make sure that you're doing well. All right. Okay. So shall we get started? Oh no. Can you hear me? I'm seeing chats like I can't hear you. I'm not audible enough. Am I not speaking out? Can you hear me? Good evening. Please let me know, okay? Okay, okay. All right, so today we're going to talk about cholesterol, and I am sorry, but I'm going to break this session into two parts, okay? So we are going to meet again tomorrow at 7 p.m. for part 2, okay? Because this session, while I was preparing my slides, I realized that it's quite a lot to cover in one session, and I don't want to overwhelm anyone. Okay. So we're going to break things up into two parts. The way we look at cholesterol is one of the biggest health disasters of all time. And people are so afraid of cholesterol, even down to your egg yolk. All right. Some people tell me that I don't even dispute it with you. Okay. If you tell me that you eat your eggs and you remove the yolk, I don't dispute it because I understand that there is this fear of cholesterol. Okay. And you do a lot of work. So many of you are doing excellently well. You are taking good care of your health. You've lost weight, but your cholesterol would not budge. Your cholesterol would not go down. And then when you see a doctor about it, they tell you that you have to go on a low-fat diet, okay? Or they place you on cholesterol-lowering medications to help bring down that cholesterol, okay? So today, I don't want to convince, the job of this session is not to convince you whether cholesterol is good or bad. All right. Yes, I'm going to tell you certain things that you should know. But after this session, if you choose to continue removing your egg yolks, good and fine. Okay. After this session, if you still choose to believe that cholesterol is bad and it's unhealthy for you, that's also good and fine. This session is majorly an information session and an educational session. Okay. I just want to tell you the facts. Okay. And I used to believe that cholesterol was totally bad. And I know right now we've kind of shifted things. We've kind of shifted the notion. Okay, it's no longer bad. It's now good and bad. Just to cover up the truth. Okay, so like I said, we're going to meet again tomorrow at 7 p.m. because this session, there is just a whole lot to talk about. Okay, all right. So at our section for today, this session alone, we are going to focus on demystifying cholesterol, okay? And then we're going to talk about the dangerous side effects of those your cholesterol-lowering medications. They are not nice. Those side effects are not nice. And because they are not nice, we shouldn't be throwing them around every time you take a blood test and then your LDL cholesterol is higher than what the reference says it should be. Okay, we shouldn't use just that LDL marker, okay, to simply throw around these cholesterol-lowering medications because they are doing a lot to humans. Okay, if you were doctors, then I'll be speaking to you directly, but I'm speaking to you now indirectly. Those medications are not things that you should be taking as you are taking even your anti-diabetic and anti-hypertensive medications, because these side effects are nothing to write home about. Okay. And we are also going to be talking about the actual cause of heart disease. And then we're going to discuss egg yolks. And then, as we get into this session, I'll let you know our sections for tomorrow, what we are going to be talking about, tomorrow. Okay. Now, this is the statement of this session. Okay. What we are trying to debunk is that high cholesterol levels in your blood are dangerous, and it increases your risk of a heart attack / a heart disease. You should eat less fatty foods and take cholesterol lowering medications if your cholesterol level is above normal. This is what everybody believes, okay? Even previously, I used to believe this. I used to believe this even 2 months ago until I started reading in depth about cholesterol and I figured out that, wow, we have been misinformed our whole lives about this cholesterol. Okay, we have really, really villainized this nutrient. It may surprise you to know that cholesterol is a nutrient, okay? And fat that you're trying to avoid is a macronutrient. Okay, that is, it's even a superior nutrient. It's something that your body cannot do without fats. Okay, and cholesterol is one of those nutrients that is extremely, extremely essential, okay, to your health. So what we are debunking now is this general notion that high cholesterol levels in the blood are dangerous and it increases your risk of a heart attack. You should eat less fatty foods. And if your cholesterol is even 1 point higher than 200, if your cholesterol dares to pass 200, you should be on a statin medication. Okay, that's not true. All right, so let's dive in depth about why we care about this statement. We care about it because the truth of the matter is nobody wants to die of a heart disease. Nobody wants to die of a heart attack. And we are going to do everything possible it takes us to prevent a heart attack or a heart disease from happening, right? So all we need to do, all we need to know is what increases our risk for a heart disease and heart attack. And let's simply deal with whatever it is. And we are told that this thing that causes heart disease and heart attack is cholesterol. And this is where the problem started, okay? This is where the problem started. How did we arrive at cholesterol being the cause of a heart attack, a heart disease, or cardiovascular diseases, okay? And if cholesterol does not increase our risk for heart attack, then let everybody just relax, okay? And let's stop fearing this cholesterol, even down to something as simple as egg yolk, okay? It is this egg yolk that surprises me the most because of all the things that could harm you. Is it egg? All right. Now, how did this myth start? In the year 1950, people started dying like crazy from heart disease, okay? Especially coronary heart disease. Now, people died so much that it was a problem, all right? Can you hear me? Okay, I think you can hear me. Yes, my audio it's moving. All right, people died so much that it was a crisis. It was like a pandemic, just like we had the COVID-19. Okay, people died so much from heart disease that medicine desperately needed to know the cause. It's just like how we questioned ourselves, what was the cause of COVID-19? Okay, that's also the same way they questioned themselves a few years ago in the year 1950. What is causing people to die from heart disease? And even until today, heart disease is one of the top diseases that kill men and women. Okay, so up until today, you know, we have still not gotten it right because this myth is still, you know, we still believe this myth. Okay, now when medicine desperately needs to find a cause, big pharmaceutical companies also see a huge business opportunity in that, okay? Because that means that they can now produce medications that would help to treat whatever it is that is causing these heart attacks and heart disease, okay? Which will bring in profits for them as well, okay? Now, there was a renowned physician, okay, by name Dr. Ansel Keys, and he felt like heart disease could be prevented, which he was actually right. Okay, you can't prevent it and you can't prevent a heart attack. So he conducted a study in only 22 countries. Now that's where his issue started, just 22 countries. And we have 195 countries in the world. Is that even up to 20% of all the countries in the world that he did this study on? Okay. Hello, can you hear me? I was disconnected. Okay. So I was explaining Dr. Key's his experiment, okay, to find out the cause of heart disease. Okay. So I was saying that out of 195 countries in the world, only 22 countries were studied. Okay. And even out of that 22, he made his conclusions out of only 7. The remaining 15, right? 22 minus 7 is 15. So the remaining 15 countries, he simply threw all this study. He threw the conclusion of those remaining 15 countries in the bin. Okay. Now, why would he do something like that? Okay, the simple reason for that is perhaps, okay, because of the desperation, because of, how much medicine desperately needed to find a cure, as well as the money that was attached at that time. They would usually attach prices. If anybody can come up with, the cause of this disease, they would give this person so and so prize money, etc., etc. Okay, because of the pressure, okay, from that, he made his conclusions based off of only 7 countries out of 22. Okay, now, because Americans died more from coronary heart disease at that time, he drew his remaining 6 conclusions out of 6 countries that had similar results to America. Okay, so in his conclusions, when you eat fatty food, it increases your cholesterol levels and it is associated with, heart disease or coronary heart disease. Okay, I lost a slide here. I lost a slide. So I don't know if I will have to stop sharing and then just put it, because it's a very, very important slide. Okay. So just give me 10 seconds and you would see it. Okay, I would share my screen now. Can you see my screen? All right, you should see my screen now. Can you see it? Can you see this graph? Okay. All right. So you can see this is number of deaths from coronary heart disease. You can see here degenerative heart disease in the year 1948. And he majorly took his conclusions from men. So women were not part of this study. And then you have total fat calories, okay? Percentage of fat calories, which is basically essentially cholesterol, okay? Now you can see Japan is the least, okay? Japanese, they eat very, very healthy food, and many of them don't suffer from the things that we are suffering from in this part of the world and in the Western world, okay? So it's would I say, it's not surprising that, they have very few number of deaths, associated with high cholesterol levels. And then Italy, England, and Australia, and Canada, and then the USA. Okay. And these men that were tested, they were between the ages of 55 to 59. All right. Now, can you see this graph as well? It's a bit blurred on my end. Is it clear for you? Can you see that all the countries that are listed here, all of them are, it's scattered. So this is the graph that shows the entire 22 countries, okay, that were used to come up with this study. Now you can see that other countries, it's sort of scattered, okay? There is no direct relationship. You cannot say out of this graph alone that cholesterol is what caused people to die. You cannot say just from this graph that high cholesterol levels is what causes heart disease or heart attack. Okay, so there is no direct relationship. There is a very weak correlation. I hope that it's clear on your end, because it's pretty blurred on my end. But there is a very weak correlation between the two data of high cholesterol and heart disease or heart attack. Okay, now I want to ask you, does association mean cause? Does relationship equal causation? Okay, I would like to see your comments in the chat. If you see two variables moving together, does it mean that one variable caused the other to occur? Okay, so I have some examples on the slide. Let's say there is a fire and then firefighters come and then they try to put out the fire. And let's assume you know nothing about what causes fires, okay? All you know is that when you see a fire, you see firefighters. At first glance, it may look as though, oh, these firefighters are always there whenever I see a fire. Perhaps they may have caused the fire. Is it true? What I'm essentially asking you is, because two things are associated with each other, does it mean that one would have caused the other thing to happen? I have another example. If two human beings are walking across the street, let's assume that they are blind, okay? And they are walking across the street and then they get hit by a car. Does it mean, let's say one person gets hit by a car, does it mean that one person killed the other person just because the two of them were moving together in the same direction? Okay, I want to hear from you. Please let me know. Do you think that association means cause? Do you think that relationship equals causation? Okay, please let me know. I really want to know your points of view. Okay. I've forgotten the course that I took and we treated this causation does not equal correlation. I think it was, I don't really remember, maybe economics. But please let me know in the chat, okay? Do you think that if two things are moving together, it causes causation? Do you think, don't you need more evidence to come to that conclusion that association, may mean causation, okay? All right, I'm glad that you agree because that's very, very important. So in 1950, because of the desperate need to come up with, to figure out whatever it is that was causing these heart attacks, we sort of, they sort of pinned it on cholesterol, okay? And before I tell you whether or not this is true, before I tell you whether or not cholesterol actually causes heart disease, let's look at some recent data, okay? We are now in recent times, 1950s have come and gone, okay? Let's now look at some recent data of our time. Now, in 2015, the USDA Dietary Guidelines Committee reports, it stated very plainly, and this is important. It says, previously, the guidelines for Americans recommended that cholesterol intake be limited to no more than 300 milligrams per day. That is, in the past, they would have advised you, don't consume more than 300 milligrams of cholesterol per day. All right. Now, it says that this 2015 guidelines will not bring that recommendation again because available evidence shows no appreciable relationship between the consumption of dietary cholesterol and serum cholesterol. Cholesterol is not a nutrient of concern for overconsumption. Okay, that's what recent data has to say about you eating fats, you eating cholesterol, and the cholesterol in your blood. Okay, this is what recent data has to say about you worrying too much about your cholesterol, you wanting to eat an egg and then you remove the yolk because you fear that it would increase your cholesterol levels. Okay, cholesterol is not a nutrient of concern for overconsumption. Now, another recent data, a Japanese study published in the Annals of Nutrition and Metabolism in the year 2018. So this is pretty recent, that high cholesterol does not lead to heart disease and it protects against many illnesses, including cancer. Who would have thought that this cholesterol that we demonize can prevent cancer? This cholesterol that we're trying to reduce can prevent cancer. This study found an inverse relationship between all-cause mortality and cholesterol levels. And this simply means that there is no direct relationship between what causes people to die and their cholesterol level, okay? And it means that the higher your cholesterol, the less likely you are to die from any cause, okay? All right, I see a chat. Mr. Sunday says no, unless the events that occurred are dependent on the elements involved in the association. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sunday, for contributing, okay? So this data says that the higher your cholesterol level, the less likely you are from dying from a cause, from any cause, okay? It means, in simple terms, that your cholesterol has very little to do with what caused you to die, okay? Very low cholesterol levels are associated with an increased risk of dying, okay? So as you are trying to lower your cholesterol, this study says that you are actually increasing your risk of dying. And could it be that that is the reason people die from the same things their medications are trying to prevent? It's just a train of thoughts, okay? If you are trying to lower your cholesterol, let me just put simply, okay? There are some people that have genetic disorders. There are people that actually have high cholesterol in the blood, this condition that we call hypercholesterolemia, which is basically high cholesterol in the blood. It actually runs in their family, okay? This is a genetic disorder, okay? For them, statins are even recommended for them, to help them bring down those cholesterol levels. That's a genetic disorder. But you, who has no genetic disorder of high cholesterol running in your family, okay, before you get on a statin, there has to be, you have to know that the reason you are suffering from whatever it is you are suffering from is because of cholesterol. And before you get on that statin medication, your lifestyle and dietary practices must have failed you before you are then placed on medications. But these days, if you just take a lipid profile test, if you just take a blood test, and the doctor sees that your LDL, especially that LDL cholesterol, if your doctor sees that it is high, you best believe that he's going to place you on a statin medication. And now that your cholesterol levels are reducing because you're on those medications, so your cholesterol levels are definitely going to go down. Could it be that somebody would be on these medications, be on antihypertensive medications, be on diabetic medications, and they will still suffer from the same thing that those medications are supposed to help them, to prevent them from suffering? That's one of the things that really, really got me when my dad suffered a stroke. I was as confused as, I don't even know what word to use. I was so confused, okay? Because if you are on antihypertensive medications, should your antihypertensive meds are supposed to reduce your hypertension? Why? What's the point of lowering your blood pressure? It's so that you will not suffer a stroke, right? You say that you are not going to suffer a heart disease or a heart attack, right? Good. Now, if he was on those medications for over 20 good years, diligently, it's not like he was just, swinging it and just, doing anyhow. If he was on those medications diligently for 20 years, tell me why he still suffered a stroke, the same stroke that medication was supposed to prevent. Okay, so when I read this, I just thought about it. Okay, could it be that this is the reason why people can be on medications and you will still suffer from that which your medications are supposed to save you from? Just a train of thoughts. Okay. All right. Now, at this point, you are probably thinking you have been told your whole life that cholesterol is what causes heart disease, right? So if I'm not telling you now that cholesterol is not what caused it, what exactly causes it? Let's know. let everybody know the truth. Let us know really what we are doing and just have the right information, and everybody can just focus on better things in life. Okay. And Rita, how come people who have decreased their fat and cholesterol intake, how come they are recovering? How come they have stuck to these guidelines of reduce your cholesterol, reduce your fat, and they got better? Okay, that's a very good question as well. So let's discuss what really causes, you know, these heart attacks as well as these heart diseases. Okay, now as you get older, okay, heart attacks are majorly because of two things. You either have a blockage, a total or reduced flow of blood in your blood vessel that is leading to the heart. Okay, that's simply what it means. And one of those things that will cause your blood vessel to block is what we call a plaque or a blood clot. All right. Now, other things can happen in the case of diabetic patients where their blood sugar is too high, but majorly that high blood sugar would lead to a plaque formation or a blood clot in the long run. All right. Now, what's the true origin of this plaque and blood clots? Okay. As you get older, your arteries get stiff. Okay. And the reason your arteries are going to get stiff is to prevent expansion. All right, is to prevent expansion. You know, you have millions and millions and millions of these blood vessels in your body, okay, trying to supply. You have millions and millions of them. So if 1, 2, 3, 100,000, 200,000 blood vessels begin to expand, then it's going to cause serious, very, very serious issues for you, okay, and your health. So as you get older, your arteries are going to get stiff, not to complicate things, but to prevent expansion. Now, I want you to think about a rubber band, okay? You are pulling a rubber band, pulling it for 30 minutes up to an hour. That rubber band is going to lose its elasticity, right? It will definitely lose its elasticity. Now, it's the same thing with your blood vessels as well. When they have been working and, you know, helping you, transporting blood, you know, transporting nutrients, etc., all through your body system, eventually they would get stiff. They would lose their elasticity. Now, it's not like a rubber where it just stops working, but it would lose its elasticity to prevent that expansion. Because when a rubber loses its elasticity, it gets wider, sort of. Okay? So your blood vessels become stiff when you get older, so that it can withstand this pressure. And it doesn't even get stiff in all the places. It will get stiff in just a particular area. All right. Now, that's one thing you should keep in mind, that age is also one of the things, okay, one of the contributing factors. Now, accompanied with this stiffness, okay, you have what we call oxidative stress and inflammation. Now, what causes this oxidative stress and inflammation? As you are going about your day-to-day life, as you are inhaling all the smoke, you know, from cars, and the stress of Nigeria hits you, and on top of that, you are not eating well, you are eating processed foods, you are consuming so much vegetable oil and groundnut oil, and you are just, you know, eating sugar and junk food, you know, trying to survive. Your body, in order to keep you alive, it undergoes these chemical reactions to produce energy. Okay, that's the main aim, to produce energy to keep you moving so that you don't slump and die. Now, sometimes because of what you are going through, because of the food you are eating, okay, because of your lifestyle, because of how much stress you are under, there can be an imbalance between these reactions, and sometimes your body would produce a toxic reaction. Okay, if you remember very well your chemistry, you have an unstable atom. Okay, an unstable atom is when the outer shell doesn't have up to 8 electrons, okay? And you need to fill it up so that that atom can be stable and become a molecule, a molecule. All right, that's simply basic chemistry, and that's what happens in your body as well. So when there's an imbalance, okay, and you are the one contributing to this imbalance, when there is an imbalance, you have this free radicals. Your body gets inflamed. Inflammation simply means there is an imbalance, okay, and your immune system would, your body will start to fight where it's not supposed to fight. Okay, it's just like cancer. Your body will begin to produce cells that are damaged, okay, begin to fight where it's not supposed to fight and leave, what it's supposed to be fighting. Okay, so this oxidative stress damages this blood vessel. Okay, now I want you to take a look at my pointer. Okay, this blue pointer. This blood vessel here, the inner part of this blood vessel is going to damage it. All right, and it's going to cause these little holes. It would cause the holes, it would cause holes to be on this blood vessel. Okay, the part where you can see the red blood cells, passing through, there will be just little holes that will begin to form because of this oxidative stress and inflammation. That is one thing. Now, aside oxidative stress making cracks, you have something that we call homocysteine. And this homocysteine also makes cracks in your blood vessel. Okay? Now, what causes this homocysteine? Homocysteine is an amino acid. Okay? It's just like I'm explaining now that, you have chemical reactions going on in your body. Now, your body is supposed to convert an amino acid into something that we call methionine. Okay? But because you are low on your B vitamins and folic acid, your body would stop it at the middle stage, which is quite dangerous. Okay? We call this homocysteine. Okay? And because you have this homocysteine, why? Because you don't have B vitamins and folic acid to complete the process of conversion. Okay, so bear that in mind. So this homocysteine is dangerous. It's an unstable electron. It's an unstable atom in your system. Okay, and this is pretty dangerous because it's not converted to its stable form. Okay, now this homocysteine, when it passes through your blood vessels, it would also create these holes in them, all right, to create these holes in them. Now, what happens? Your body, cholesterol is a nutrient, like I've explained, okay? It's a nutrient. And what's the function of your blood? To transport these nutrients, right? Now, your blood is going to transport cholesterol, okay? When you eat food, your body is going to transport that cholesterol, through your entire body system, okay? Now, we have something that we call LDL, all right? This LDL is not really bad per se. The reason we have low density lipoprotein and high density lipoprotein, that is LDL and HDL. The reason we have them is that your LDL is what carries the bulk of cholesterol. That's lipoprotein, okay? Think of that lipoprotein as a bus. So that LDL bus is going to package all the cholesterol and move it into the blood, all right? That's what is, it will then distribute the cholesterol to your different tissues, give it to your liver, give it to your muscles, give it to your cells that need repair, okay? Give it to your skin cells, give it to your body tissues, okay? So that it can function properly. All right. Now, as it is passing through the blood, because of those cracks that have been formed due to oxidative stress and this homocysteine, okay, that cholesterol is going to get stuck. Now, when I first met you at your webinar, I believed that cholesterol was what caused this plaque to form. Okay, that's what I believe, but that's not true. Okay, we should have asked ourselves, why would your cholesterol even get stuck in the first place? And if it is going to get stuck, why is it just in one area? You can see this blood vessel. You can see this part that you have this pronounced plaque. You don't have it everywhere. You have it just in this area. All right. So this is the part that, this oxidative stress, and this homocysteine has caused, these holes to be so big that this lipoprotein, this LDL bus, okay, this bus will not get stuck. It's just like your car enters a pothole, okay, and it gets stuck in there. All right. Now, what will happen is your immune system, your white blood cells, macrophages, they will begin to come to the rescue. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Something is not right somewhere. We are stuck. We are stuck. We need this cholesterol to move. We don't need it stuck here. Okay. We need it to move to the liver. We need to move it to the kidney. We need to move it. Okay. So your immune system would begin to come to this affected area. Okay. Now, in an attempt to bring the cholesterol out, when you call boys to come and remove your car out of the pothole, in an attempt to remove your car, they also get stuck in there. Okay. Now, because these holes are so many, and to get in is easy, but to come out is pretty hard. I mean, this is a blood vessel. Your body works to prevent things like this from happening. Okay, your body works to prevent things that are not supposed to enter inside to enter. That's one of the key things that your body does. If you look at this diagram very well, you will see that this plaque is not just in the bloodstream. You can see it is enclosed in the intima. That's what we call it, the intima of the blood vessel. This is the muscle cell here. After this red skin, okay, you have this pinkish one, okay, and then you have the plaque, and then you have this sort of brownish one, right? You can see that this plaque is in between the brownish layer and the muscle layer, which is this pink one, okay? It is inside it, all right? So it is easy to enter, but it's not so easy to come out, okay? Because that's cholesterol that has gotten in there, okay? The truth of the matter is, when that cholesterol enters into that blood vessel, and your immune system would also come and swallow the cholesterol, because you have to move it, right? So when your immune system releases all these cells that will come and swallow up the cholesterol, okay, what happens is that it cannot leave anymore, because as it is trying to gather all the cholesterol, it's growing. And that hole, the same hole that made it enter, is now too little for it to come out. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to use to explain this. Let's say you are stuck in a hole, okay? Let's say you are stuck in a hole, and then you call people to come and help you, okay? And then, one person enters to come and bring you out, another person enters to come and bring you out, and then you get too much that all of you can no longer come out again from the hole, all right? That hole has now become too small for all of you to pass through, all right? And what happens is that it remains there. It just stays there, okay? And because that hole is still small enough for all this LDL, all this LDL cholesterol to enter inside, it will just keep growing and growing and growing. To enter is easy, but to come out is not so easy. So looking at this now, when they wanted to find out the cause of heart disease, mere looking at this diagram, what do you think caused this heart disease? You will tell me plainly that it is cholesterol that caused it. Are you not saying that there's cholesterol in there? I mean, this is just A, B, C, D, right? We didn't ask ourselves questions, okay? Why would cholesterol even be stuck there in the first place? Is that how God created your blood vessels, to accommodate cholesterol? Okay, so what we should have asked is, what even made this cholesterol to get stuck there in the first place? It's simply oxidative stress and this homocysteine. Okay, so looking at this now, they must have taught in 1950, just by looking at this, cholesterol is what caused it, because cholesterol has shown up here. If you don't see cholesterol here, you won't say that cholesterol is what caused this, will you? So it is because of the presence of cholesterol that we now think, okay, maybe that is what caused it. Maybe we have to now decrease our cholesterol levels. All right. And the cholesterol that you are trying to reduce is not this one. This one is already a plaque. This is already formed, hard, solid. Okay, calcium is even part of the equation. This is no longer, a squishy ball that you just remove. This is stuck, and this is hard. Okay, so it's not just cholesterol anymore. It's not just cholesterol anymore. All right, so this is what happened. We focus on the effect. Once again, in medicine, we are focusing on the effect. We are focusing on the symptom, not the root cause of the problem. Even what we thought was the root cause of the problem has a deeper roots. Even what we thought cholesterol is what caused it, cholesterol is what caused it. Even this cholesterol has a deeper root to it. Once again, we are focusing on the effect and not the cause. Once again, we are focusing on the outer appearance and not the roots of the problem. Okay, instead of thinking about how we are going to lower our cholesterol is not the issue here. What you should think about is, how can I close off these holes? How can I make sure that these holes don't pop up anymore? These holes that are made from oxidative stress and homocysteine, how do I make sure that it doesn't happen anymore so that cholesterol doesn't get stuck and then we blame it for causing the heart disease? So when they say, okay, cholesterol is associated with a heart disease, yes, you can see the blockage. You can see the blockage live. You can see that, yes, this is going to obstruct blood flow. But is that what caused it? Is that what caused what made cholesterol get there in the first place? That's what we should focus on, because the drug you are going to take is not going to do anything for this plaque. The medication you're going to take, that starting medication, that's cholesterol lowering medication, it's not going to do anything for what is already stuck in here. Even if we want to fix the problem, let's think about how we can remove this plaque and not lowering the total cholesterol that your body needs. I will get to that in a minute. Okay, so once again, we are focusing on the end products, okay, which is the cholesterol buildup. And it may also shock you to know that even when you reduce your body's total cholesterol, it doesn't reduce your homocysteine. Even if you take all the statin medications in the world, it's not going to reduce your homocysteine. It's not going to also reduce your oxidative stress. If anything, it would add to your issues. So that means that you are fighting a losing battle. If you think about it, you are actually fighting a losing battle. Yes, medicine is going to help you. The aim of medicine is to save your life. Number one thing is to save your life, regardless. So medicine is going to go to any length to keep you alive, even if it means opening your body, even if it means operating on you. They would perform surgery on you to keep you alive, and that is good. But we are focusing on the effect and not the cause of the problem. Okay, and even if we say you want to focus on the cause of the problem, many people are not, you are not going to stick to it long term, because many people don't understand it. And because it is such a slow process, many people give up easily. You give up too soon because you don't understand what is actually going on in your system. If you say, okay, you want to go on dietary and lifestyle practices to help your life, many people give up too soon, way too soon, because you are doing it and you don't have the same effects that your medications will give you, which is instant, okay? Which is to just lower your blood pressure in a few hours. You don't have that kind of effect as you would your natural and lifestyle practices. So to you, it's like, it's not working out, it's not working out, it's not working out. Okay, so by focusing on the effects of the problem, we are not doing any good. Okay, we are not doing any good. Now, how come people have stuck to these guidelines and recovered? Okay, if I'm telling you now that, yeah, Rita, I get you. Okay, I understand what you're trying to say. But the thing is, people have reduced their cholesterol and people have reduced their fat intake and they are doing excellently well. What do you have to say about that? If you are already in a hole, I don't know which which simple analogy to use or which simple example to use now. Okay, but the simple truth is, if you are already damaged, the best thing you can do for yourself is to stop damaging yourself further. if you see now that these cracks are there, the best thing you can do for yourself, okay, is to stop putting in that cholesterol. That's the best thing you can do for yourself, okay, so that your plaque, it doesn't grow and your blood clots doesn't accumulate. But then again, if you don't eat your cholesterol, your body is going to produce it. The less cholesterol you eat, the higher your body produces its cholesterol, because your body needs it. The more cholesterol you consume, the less your body creates its own. Okay, so honestly, you cannot escape it. It's a very, very important nutrient. So the reason people stick to these guidelines and they are able to recover is that they are simply abstaining from what is causing that plaque to increase. Okay, and in a bid to save your life, in a bid to improve your health, okay, when we tell you you have to eat low cholesterol foods and low fatty foods and all those things, you figure out that you actually have a change in your diet, and and that change in your diet would improve on your nutritional intake. Okay, so let's assume somebody starts to take their life seriously and they begin to cut out foods that have high cholesterol, foods that are high in fat, foods that are high, etc., etc., etc. Okay, they would begin to eat proper food and not sugar and processed fats and all those stuff. And they would improve on their vitamins. They would improve on their minerals. Abi? Now, remember that this is one of the things that your body needs to stop that oxidative stress, as well as to convert that homocysteine into what it is supposed to be. So you are able to finish it. You are able to finish that conversion of homocysteine. Okay, that means that your body actually produces less homocysteine. Okay, because you are now consuming your foods properly, because you are now living a healthy lifestyle. Your body is beginning to recover. Okay, and slowly the damage will begin to get undone, and then you have that that result that you desire. It is not because of the cholesterol. It is because you have simply started to do the things that you are supposed to do that will then prevent that cholesterol from getting stuck. It's not because of your cholesterol. I don't know if we understand me. Please let me know in the chat. We are already an hour in. Please let me know. Are we together? I've been speaking for a while. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Please let me know if we are together, okay? Are you with me? Do you understand me? Am I making sense to you? Let's check in. Okay, I can see your comments now. Okay. What do you think about this information? Surprising, isn't it? It's pretty surprising. I mean, when I read about it, I didn't even want to believe it. I was like, no, 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 there has to be, somebody has to debunk this. But it is pretty surprising, actually. Just because cholesterol, and so bad for cholesterol anyway, why is it showing up, at the danger zone? Perhaps if cholesterol can stop showing up at the danger zone, then we can stop blaming it, right? Okay. So I hope that we can now see that cholesterol is innocent. Okay. Unfortunately for cholesterol, it happens to just be there. And the reason it is there majorly is for healing purposes. Okay. One of the reasons that cholesterol even gets stuck in that place is for healing purposes. Okay. To help heal that hole. All right. Now, once cholesterol was demonized, okay, in the 1950s. It was there, when people were trying to figure out what's the cause of this. We started to demonize foods that are high in fats and foods that are high in cholesterol. And that's where your good old egg, okay, was condemned because it's simply a nutrient. So people started to look for ways to lower cholesterol, all right? And unfortunately, you cannot do much from your food because, like I've said, if you consume low cholesterol, your body up regulates it. If you consume enough, your body will down regulate the amount it's supposed to produce. Okay. And when people see such an opportunity, they capitalize on it. Okay. And that's why we have so many that's why big pharmaceutical companies were able to leverage, on this cholesterol myth and your statin medications, etc. Now, do you know that previously the amount of cholesterol, the healthy range of cholesterol before was 300. Then it reduced to 250. Then it reduced to 200. And you know that's point of reference. That scale is what a lot of doctors would use to measure if you would be on your cholesterol lowering medications or not. You know that, right? Just a few days ago, a lady asked me she showed me her test results. And I was like, your cholesterol levels are great. Even her LDL, everything was great. Okay. And then she went to the doctor. The doctor said it's good, but he still gave her a statin medication. He still put her on cholesterol lowering medication because her LDL was a bit higher than what it's supposed to be. Now, I'm not going to go into LDL and HDL cholesterol in this session. We are going to talk about it tomorrow. This LDL that many people think is so bad, it's not bad at all. This LDL cholesterol, LDL is so bad, reduce your LDL, la, 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 la. This LDL is simply a lipoprotein. This LDL is simply doing what it's supposed to do in your body. Okay, so we are going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay, remember I said we are going to break this session into 2 parts. So each time that they reduce the cholesterol limits, each time that they reduce how high your cholesterol would be, the more you will get placed on these anti-cholesterol drugs, right? These cholesterol lowering medications. Okay. And very soon, even a normal human being, even somebody that is not even, I think that's one of the reasons we are actually seeing that people suffer from heart attacks and heart disease, even from an early age. Before, it used to be, when you are very, very, at least you are old, and, that's just life happening to you and your body is just, shutting down slowly. Okay. And then you would have heart attacks and heart diseases. And now it's like, even people that are so young, people in their 40s, people in their 50s will begin to suffer from a heart attack. When you hear things like this, you begin to think about certain things. Okay. This cholesterol that we are reducing so much, this cholesterol that we think is doing more harm, this cholesterol that we want to reduce by fire by force, as we are reducing it, we are missing out on the benefits of cholesterol. And that's why when you take these anti-cholesterol drugs, your body responds by having so much side effects. I don't know if you are on if you are on cholesterol lowering medications, okay? But if you are, you would notice that is for those of you that have a very weak immune system, okay? That your body cannot withstand it. You would realize that you have these really, really, really dangerous side effects. And we're going to come to those medications in a moment, okay? But the reason you have those side effects is because cholesterol is so important. You don't need to reduce it. And again, the work of your medications. Okay, I'll come to that. Okay, I'll come to that. let's talk about some things that you need cholesterol for, that you didn't think you needed it for. Okay? Let's talk about some facts about cholesterol, okay, that many people don't know. Number one, people that suffer from plaque in their blood vessel, you have the same amount of cholesterol as somebody who is not, as somebody who has high cholesterol, okay? That is, if your cholesterol is low, okay, and okay, we have two persons now. We have person A has a low cholesterol, and you have person B that has plaque. Your cholesterol levels are pretty much the same thing. Your cholesterol levels are pretty much the same thing. And the reason is that you cannot eat your way to high cholesterol. You cannot eat your way to high cholesterol. Okay? Again, I will come to that. Okay? Let's just move on. Another fact we need to know is that your body produces 3 to 4 times more cholesterol than you eat. Okay? And like I said before, the less you eat, the more your body increases, what it produces. Okay? You can see 3 to 4 times more than what you are consuming. You cannot eat your way to high cholesterol. People, I think I've repeated this slide. No, I haven't. Okay, more than 30 studies that have over 150,000 participants show that people who have had a heart attack have not eaten more saturated fats than other people. Saturated fats will treat it tomorrow. Okay? People whose blood cholesterol is low can develop plaque just as much as people whose cholesterol is high. Why? Because it's not about your cholesterol levels. Okay? It's about your oxidative stress and your levels of homocysteine. All right? The low saturated fats and the low cholesterol diets that you are consuming cannot lower your cholesterol more than a certain percentage. You cannot eat your way to high cholesterol, neither can you eat your way out of high cholesterol. And that's why you need those medications, because those are the only things, the only effective way for you to actually reduce your cholesterol is to reduce it with medications. Okay? And these cholesterol lowering medications are very dangerous to your health. They shorten your lifespan because you use cholesterol for many, 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 many things in your body, starting from your brain. Cholesterol is an essential nutrient for all human life. Every cell, okay, not every cell because your red blood cells don't need it, but almost every cell in your body produces cholesterol. Okay? I don't know if you recall your biology class, where they will show you a diagram of a cell, and then you will see the nucleus, you will see the mitochondria, you will see the cell wall, the cell membrane. What makes up that cell membrane is cholesterol. And that cell membrane is there for protective reasons, to prevent what's not supposed to enter, to prevent what's not supposed to enter from entering. Okay? And you now reduce your cholesterol. You now get on these cholesterol lowering medications, and then you reduce your cholesterol. That means that your cells, the protective layer is depleting. That's what it means. To determine whether or not you are a man or a woman, to be able to give life, okay, to produce your testosterone, women to produce this hormone that we call estrogen and progesterone, for you to feed your baby, for you to grow human life, you need cholesterol for that. It makes up your sex hormones. It activates vitamin D. It repairs your tissue. Your brain actually produces its own cholesterol because it needs it for its membrane. So your brain doesn't even need the cholesterol that's roaming about in your bloodstream. Your brain produces its own cholesterol. And then you take a drug and then you reduce it, and your body starts to fight back by giving you all those side effects. Cholesterol also helps against infections. It also helps against diseases. Now, this is a diagram of a neuron. This is a diagram of a neuron. Can you see this yellowish substance that is here? This myelin sheet that is covering this axon. Okay, this is how your nervous system communicates. So you have millions and millions and millions of this neuron attached to each other, and they pass on information faster than the speed of lightning. Just for you to blink your eyes, information has to move within a nanosecond. Okay, and what insulates this axon so that it doesn't fire more than it's supposed to fire? What insulates it is this cholesterol that you are trying to reduce. It's just like your wire. I don't know much about electricity, but I know that there is this insulating coat that's, that wraps your wire, just like my phone wire now. I'm just looking at it. Okay, I have this protective insulator that is supposed to, I don't know, keep all the currents within, where it's supposed to be. Okay, that's the same thing with your neuron. This cholesterol insulates it so that it maintains the current where it's supposed to be. Do you know that if this cholesterol is depleted, you have a very serious condition that we call multiple sclerosis? And it's not even a funny issue, just by reducing this cholesterol. So, and this LDL that we're talking about, that is so bad, where is LDL going to? To places like this. That's where it's going. That's where it's heading to. LDL is simply a carrier. LDL is a bus. It is going to go and give cholesterol to your neurons. It's going to go and give cholesterol to your liver. It's going to go and give cholesterol to your tissues. It's going to go and give cholesterol to your sex hormones. Give it to your body. And you are reducing it. Just a train of thoughts. So let's talk about statins, okay? And their untold side effects. I really, really think that one of the things medicine should improve on is telling people about the side effects of their medications, just so that okay? Just so that that, yes, it's not all rainbows and sunshine to just swallow a medication, okay? So one of the things your statins do is that they reduce the function of your liver, okay? It damages your liver and your muscles as well. Okay, it can also lead to poor memory, depression, concentration. Like I've shown you, research has shown that people that have higher cholesterol, they have better memories. Okay, people that have high cholesterol, they have better memories and they suffer less from dementia. Okay, so could it be that as we are trying to reduce our cholesterol, we are seeing an increase in the rates of dementia, okay, and poor cognitive function? All right. Now, as you're also trying to reduce your cholesterol, you are increasing your peripheral neuropathy. That was a video I did 2 days ago, right? That I sent to you, was it yesterday? About peripheral neuropathy and you having this numbness and tingling in your hands and feet. One of the reasons for that is because of this lowered cholesterol. Okay. And it can also lead to sleep problems, sexual dysfunction as well. Why would it lead to sexual dysfunction? Okay, because cholesterol is one of the major components of your sex hormones, okay, in producing your sex hormones. All right. And it also reduces your antioxidant levels. Okay, antioxidants are the things that help you with oxidative stress. That's one of the first things that I spoke about. When it comes to those tiny holes, what causes those holes to pop up? Okay, that's your oxidative stress. And you need antioxidants for that. Antioxidants, antioxidation, antioxidative stress. Okay, that's a function of your antioxidants. And as you take these statins, it reduces, your antioxidant levels, the same antioxidants you need to prevent cholesterol from sticking to those artery walls. All right. Now, let's look at this mechanism. Okay, let's look at this mechanism. Now, when you take these statin medications, we have this HMG-CoA reductase. Now, this eventually converts itself into mevalonic acid and FBP, and this is what produces, naturally, your body produces its own antioxidants, okay? So this is what produces these antioxidants, and then your cholesterol that you are trying to reduce. So when you take this statin medication, it will shut off this beginning stage. That means every other thing here is gone. It would shut off this HMG CoA reductase. It shuts it off in a bid to lower your cholesterol. Not working, it's not working on what you already have. It's simply reducing what your body can produce so that you don't produce more. Okay, wouldn't it be better perhaps if we decrease the cholesterol that is roaming about in the bloodstream? Yes, we actually need those ones, so it's not even a good idea that we reduce them. Okay, but I just want you to know it's not reducing what it's already produced, it's reducing your body's ability to produce more. Okay, and statins are recommended, yes, for people who have disorders that are running in their family due to high cholesterol. It will be very, very good for them, because at that stage, when it's too high, then it actually becomes a problem. Okay, it's just like your blood sugar. Yes, your body needs glucose, but when it becomes too high, it's a problem. Okay, for those people, yes, we can recommend it to them. But when you that has no genetic disorder, okay, you begin to shut things off like this. And then when you shut off this HMG enzyme, you cut off your antioxidants, which are very, very important for your oxidative stress. And you also cut off cholesterol, which your body would need. Okay? Are we together? All right, now let's talk about breaking the side effects of your statin medication. So let us say you are already on your cholesterol lowering drugs. Okay, you are already on your medications, and you now want to know, how can I beat the side effects of these medications? You have to find a way to improve on this CoQ10. You have to find a way to improve on these antioxidants. Okay, because as you take in those statins and it is decreasing this antioxidant level, you now have to find a way to increase it. Okay, and that would help you. That would help you with the side effects of your cholesterol lowering medications. Okay, so I'm saying CoQ10 because that's a very, very important antioxidant. Okay, CoQ10. All right. Okay, I'm on the wrong slide. So it's a very, very important antioxidant. Okay. Now I don't have CoQ10 for you. Okay. What I have for you is astaxanthin, which is 800 times stronger than CoQ10. Okay. Now you have the content of your wellness pack. You now have it separated. Okay. Just in case you want to focus on, a particular sector of your life, like just increasing your antioxidant level, you can now have something like your astaxanthin alone for 30 days and at a lower price than the price of your wellness pack. Okay, so I have astaxanthin for you. And then when it comes to your homocysteine, how can you beat the effects of homocysteine? Homocysteine came in the first place because you lacked vitamins and folic acid. Okay, so simply increase that and your body would complete its conversion state. Homocysteine is not supposed to be in your system. Okay, your body is simply converting one amino acid to the other. It's a chemical reaction. Okay, so as your body is trying to convert that, you have this product that is not its end product yet. So it's now a pollutant to you. Okay, so if you want to decrease the effects of homocysteine, simply boost your B vitamins and your folic acid. Okay, and I have it here present for you in the multivitamin. Okay, so the wellness pack is now your astaxanthin and your vitamin and your omega-3, everything in a sachet. Now you have it separated for you at better prices. Okay, all right, so this concludes the end of our session. Tomorrow, 7 p.m., we are going to talk about dietary fats. Okay, let's break down the things you are eating. Okay, how does it turn into fats? How does your body digest it? What happens in your body system? Let's talk about saturated fats, unsaturated fats. There are also damaged forms of cholesterol that you eat. Okay, and then we'll talk about LDL and HDL, and then we'll talk about your numbers. All right, how how to interpret your lipid profile, even though I know you are not a doctor, so you don't really need to interpret it yourself, but it's just good to know your levels, okay? It's just good to know, all right? And then let's also talk about the best indicator for heart disease. You know, when you look at your blood tests, it's not just about your LDL. It's deeper than that, okay? So I will share that with you tomorrow, all right? So now it's time for questions. Please let me know. And if you don't have questions, please let me know what you think about this class today, because it is really, really, really out of what we are used to. Okay, so any questions? I would really, really want to know your thoughts. Even if you don't have questions, I just want to know what you think about the session. Okay, so I'm waiting questions and comments. Questions and comments, okay? All right, I have one from Mr. Ken. Is high homocysteine one of the causative factors of high blood pressure? It's only a causative factor because of the effect of homocysteine, okay? It's only a causative factor because of what it does in your system, okay? And what it does is to increase your risk of heart attacks and increase your risk of heart disease because of the damage that it does to your blood vessels, okay? Yes, so the simple answer to that is yes, okay? Can taking TMG lower homocysteine levels and therefore lower hypertension? Yes, okay? Taking your TMG supplements can definitely help, okay? With your homocysteine, your oxidative stress as well, okay? To help you with your blood clots and the rest of them, okay? Okay, okay. Any more questions? Please let me know what you think about the class. Even if you don't have questions, it would really, really help me. Okay, it would really, really help me. Another question that some of you may be thinking is, why hasn't your doctor shared this with you yet? That's what I would ask. Why hasn't my doctor shared this with me yet? Okay, I can see your comments. What's the relationship between blood pressure and cholesterol? Well, one of the things is that cholesterol shows up when you have essential hypertension. Okay, it shows up when you have essential hypertension. Essential hypertension is hypertension that is due to primary causes. Okay, like you simply not observing a proper diet and lifestyle. Okay, and like I've explained today, it's not that cholesterol caused your hypertension like we used to think. It's just there. It's always there. You know, it's where it's not supposed to be, if I should say so. Hmm? It's where it's not supposed to be. So it's easy to put a blame on it. It's easy to put a blame on it. Okay. So the relationship between your blood pressure and cholesterol is simply the fact, the development of plaques. Okay, the development of plaques. So it is seen as, you know, when you eat high cholesterol foods, you know, it accumulates in your blood vessel. But then what will cause that accumulation in the first place is because that blood vessel is damaged. Okay. if lowering cholesterol is not necessary, as our body would produce it to augment quantity we don't have, why are we advised not to eat red meat? Now, your red meat is not just about your cholesterol and saturated fats, okay? And that's one of the things we're going to talk about tomorrow. Your red meat, your eggs, your butter, all these foods, okay? We're going to dive into them. Does eating fatty foods, does it increase your cholesterol? Does it increase your fats? Okay, we are going to get into that tomorrow. Okay. As I'm reading about these things, I'm seeing that they actually recommend that you eat red meat, but I'm not going to say that because I don't believe that to be true, unless they are going to change my mind. But then again, there is something we call oxycholesterol, okay? And I will share that with you tomorrow, okay? We have what we call cholesterol that is basically damaged, okay? And you can find some of this oxycholesterol in your red meats, okay? And that's one of the reasons we tell you not to eat red meats, okay? But I would save my comments for tomorrow, okay? We are going to talk about different foods, especially red meats and saturated fats, you know. We're going to talk about all those foods tomorrow, all right? That's why I didn't put them in today's session because I don't want it to be too lengthy, okay? All right. You know, as I think more and more about these things, I now see why some doctors say you should eat according to your blood type. Because let's reason it together. Only 22 studies, only 22 countries were studied, right? What if Nigeria and African countries were not part of that study? There are so many countries were left out, right? Out of 195, only 22. And out of 22, only 7 were picked to come to a conclusion. You know, so as I read and as I understand the concept of these things in a deeper level, I now see why they say eat according to your blood type. Okay? Because then it would answer a lot of questions as to why some people would eat red meat and their blood pressure would skyrocket. And other people, they wouldn't, or they would, and it's like nothing happened. Okay? All right. Just the just a train of thoughts. Okay, Mrs. Chama says, thanks, Dr. Rita. It's really surprising to me. Does it mean we should ignore the cholesterol when it's a bit elevated? Mrs. Chama, should I tell you the truth or I should go via conventional medicine? The thing about cholesterol is that higher, I would defend higher cholesterol as opposed to low cholesterol, okay? But then your cholesterol being high does not necessarily mean it's a good thing. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay? So yes, I would defend higher cholesterol levels better than I would low cholesterol levels. Okay? But it doesn't mean that every time your cholesterol is high, it doesn't mean that it is dangerous. And every time that your cholesterol is high, it doesn't mean that you should be placed on a medication to bring it down. You cannot, the mistake we are making when it comes to diagnosing these statin medications is that we are relying only on one blood marker. We are relying only on just, okay, it didn't meet your reference points. Okay, your blood pressure is not 120. So if it is above 120, you should be placed on antihypertensive medications. No. Okay, your cholesterol is higher than 200, and if it is 215, remember the cholesterol reference before was 300. 300. So what changed? What changed? Okay, we can say that what changed is modern diets, right? We can say, okay, you know, modern diets, processed foods and vegetable oils and all those things it can cause high cholesterol levels and blah, blah, blah. But that's because your unprocessed foods is damaging your arteries, causing that cholesterol to stick. Okay? Not because of cholesterol itself. All right. So that's what this session. I like what you said. It's really, really an eye-opener. Okay. And to simply answer your question because of time, you can't ignore your cholesterol when it's elevated. Okay. It should not be a cause for alarm when your cholesterol is higher than the reference point. It should not be a cause of, it should not be something that will push you to be on statin medications because your cholesterol is higher than 200. Okay. But then again, it's being very, very high does not, it doesn't say well. Okay. I'm also going to talk about that tomorrow as well. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Mr. Ken says, is TMG part of astaxanthin? No, TMG is not included in astaxanthin. Okay. Astaxanthin is simply an antioxidant. Okay. Why do doctors prescribe Lipitor to patients? Because that's how they are trained, sir. That's how we are trained. I asked the question, have you ever wondered why your doctor has not talked about such things to you before? You see, this thing I'm sharing with you, I didn't learn it in medical school. Okay? What I'm sharing with you today, what I just shared with you, I did not learn it in medical school. What I learned in medical school is that high cholesterol would increase your risk. Okay? But like I said at the beginning of this session, if you joined me when I started, me helping you has opened my eyes to a lot of things. And it has also helped me to discover the kind of doctor I want to be and the branch of medicine I want to practice. Okay? And genuinely, the doctors that wrote the books I read, they used to believe in cholesterol as well. Okay? They used to believe in it and they used to defend statin medications with their life. Now, one of the reasons why your doctors would recommend these medications to you is because of the standard of care. It's because of the standard of care. If they move out of the standard of care and something happens to you, they would be blamed for that because they left, the umbrella of standard medicine, of conventional medicine. Okay. However, we cannot continue to do things when we know very well that we are not going about them in the right way. Okay. So let's thank God that I found this information and I'm sharing it with you. Okay. But then your doctors, they are not to blame, it's majorly because of the standard of care. Okay. Majorly because of the standard of care. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Mr. Cletus says, how long is recommended to do cholesterol test? Do you mean how often should you check your cholesterol? Do you mean how often should you take a lipid profile test, get a blood test? I'd recommend 6 months to a year because a lot can change in 6 months to a year. Okay? a lot can change in 6 months to a year. So after this session and, you change some certain habits, you can definitely go back to have another look at your lipid profile. I would say 6 months to a year. That gives your body enough time to, do all of its regeneration and, put itself in place. And then, you will then see it on your blood markers that, yes, there has been so and so improvement. Okay. So I'll say 6 months to a year. All right. Any more questions? Can I ask you one final question? Do you believe that cholesterol is bad for you? After everything I've said, and I'm not saying it to know whether you believe me or not, or whether you agree with the information. And yes, we'll still have a part 2. So maybe I should not ask now, but I just want to know, from what you've heard so far, do you see cholesterol as this bad nutrient? Do you still see it as this thing that you should avoid at all costs? I would like to know. Okay. While I wait for your comments, you are free to leave if you want to. Okay. We are done. I will see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Okay. We are done. So do you still see cholesterol as a villain in the story? Mr. Sunday says moderation is key. Mr. Victor says no. That's good. So we'll find out tomorrow. Anyways, closing remarks. I wouldn't say that cholesterol is totally, I wouldn't say that medicine got it totally wrong. Okay? I wouldn't say that they got it totally wrong. We just didn't get it right. Okay? We simply did not get it right. Oh, I'm pretty tired. I'm very tired. So can I go? Can I go? I really, really enjoyed our session today. Thank you for coming, and I hope that you join me again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Deaconess says, I just want to be sure that it won't affect me by his grace. Why would it affect you? Is there a reason why it would affect you? Anyways, we are not in our dietary section today. Yes, we will talk about, your different foods, and I will tell you how to go about it tomorrow. All right, so don't worry. I didn't make any change to your diet. This session, or should I say, part 1, is just to let you know that cholesterol just happens to be there when we have issues. It doesn't mean that it caused it. Okay? If I'm to summarize everything that I've said today in a sentence, cholesterol happens to be there. It's just like your firefighters happen to be there anytime there is a fire. It doesn't mean that they're the ones that caused the fire. So let us reduce this fear of cholesterol. Okay? That's, if I will just summarize everything that I talked about today, that's it. Okay? We should stop being so afraid of cholesterol. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the different dietary aspects to it, your red meat and your eggs and all that other stuff. Okay? Okay. Yes. So it's that fear of cholesterol, and that's, once your cholesterol is higher than 200, it's now a cause for alarm for you. And it's like, oh, my cholesterol is so high, I need to be on drugs. And these drugs don't come without side effects, right? So, that's for that. Okay. That's for that. That's the point of this class. All right. Okay. You're welcome. And I'm so happy that you are able to hear me today, Deaconess. I'm so happy. You said you have missed my sessions and your Zoom wasn't working fine. I'm so happy that, you are able to join me live today. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for being a part of my audience. I really, really enjoyed talking to you and helping you navigate through your health. And I'm just grateful to have you as my audience. Okay. Thank you for giving me a listening ear every time I put up these live sessions. Okay. All right. I think I am good to end the session now. So I would stop sharing. Okay. So goodbye. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Okay. We'll discuss part 2. All right. Bye. Take care.